Are you looking for designer styles that you can recreate at home? Well, I've hunted out 17 of the best autumn winter pieces on Net-a-Porter and found the perfect patterns to save you hours of searching. Hi, I'm Amy and welcome back to the Sewing Room. I've worked in the sewing industry for 15 years now, so my brain is like this encyclopedia of patterns and I need to put that to good use. So today I've got 17 sew the look ideas inspired by high-end pieces from brands like Doan, Zimmermann and Stella McCartney, and I'll show you which sewing patterns give you the same vibe, the fabrics you should probably look for, and some clever tweaks to get the designer finish without the designer price tag. Make sure to give this video a like and maybe subscribe if you enjoy these style of videos. I have another one coming up very soon, and let's dive in. First, let's swoon over the Doan Charleston dress. It's one of those romantic, vintage inspired pieces that's simple and beautiful, made from organic cotton. It's beautifully soft and floaty with a delicate floral print that kind of feels straight out of some kind of autumn postcard. The bodice has a deep V neckline and empire line bodice, long sleeves and maxi skirt, perfect for wearing with, you could layer it with cardigans, tights, boots. So I'm recommending Vogue 9311, which is super similar, just has a slightly lower front that you could easily raise up or reshape for more coverage. And it also has a centre front skirt slit that you could close up easily or remove entirely. Something like a Liberty Tanner lawn in a similar ditzy print would work beautifully, or pick up a viscose or twill for a warmer version. Next is the Rixo Adelind tie-necked tiered chiffon dress. So cut from floral semi-sheer chiffon, has blouson sleeves with elasticated cuffs and a tie at the back of the high neckline. There's no waist seam, but 2 gathered skirt tiers on the bottom. Maybe layer it over thermal layers so you look chic but stay cozy. Why not try McCall's 8603 to get the look? It has the same blouson raglan sleeves, necktie and tiered skirt. There's also another view with an asymmetric hem. This pattern is perfect for chiffon, challis, charmeuse, crepe de chine and more. Say that 10 times fast. Moving on to God's True Cashmere shirt, made in, you guessed it, cashmere. There were a lot of wool shirts on Net-a-Porter for autumn. Stylish but easy to throw on. This one's got like quite a relaxed fit with point flat pockets, pearlescent snap fastener buttons. It's giving me sort of like Western vibes, so obviously they wouldn't have had cashmere in the Old West, I imagine. I've been looking for a yummy kind of wool flannel cashmere mix, probably from somewhere like Fabworks. They have a lot of great wool fabrics. And for the pattern, Simplicity 3171 would be a great option. I like that it has both loose fit and darted options if you wanted a more fitted shape. It has those cool shaped yokes with scalloped edges, plus snap barrel cuffs, front snap closures and 2 chest pocket, like patch pockets with snap closures as well, all for matching the inspiration. Up next is the Luca Tweed wrap skirt by Cara Cara. I've not really heard of Cara Cara, but apparently each piece is hand sewn, which I like. It's also made up in a micro houndstooth check, which is cool. So it has lots of lovely autumn colours in there without being an overwhelming print. The extra special touch is those large metal floral snap buttons. And Simplicity 3104 looks like a pretty good match to me. It's a wrap skirt made in tweed or wool, button closure, darted fit. This one has a slight asymmetric wrap shape, but if you'd rather have a straight wrap, you could try Simplicity 8699. That also has a few more buttons for extra security. Both would work great for this. Barn jackets are huge this season. So first I fell in love with the Brunelli Cucinelli shearling jacket, but it's an eye-watering £7,900. So making your own would be a good way not to break the bank. It's got a plush shearling lining with a fluffy collar. The roomy trapeze shape allows for easy layering in the colder seasons. I also love the Totem oversized corduroy collar waxed cotton jacket. It looks just like the Cucinelli, but would work for rainy Europe because of the wax treatment. Rainy anywhere. Plus that trapeze shape again means you could lay your jumper up, all your layers underneath and still stay cozy. Burda 5695 is perfect for this. Don't you think? It's got that same barn jacket shape with raglan sleeves and trapeze silhouette. And there's roomy patch pockets with the snap fashion closures on the flap. It doesn't have a button flap front, but I think you could hack one of those onto the front if it was essential to you. I saw a gorgeous faux leather with shearling lining on the Fabric Godmother site, but you could also just look for a shearling blanket for an upcycle, right? I've been dreaming about this next dress. Zimmermann's Lucky dress is made from denim in a faded skylark wash, whatever that means, with top stitching details. This is one of those great styles you could wear all year round and just mix up your accessories and your shoes. It features gathering in the bodice and a gathered skirt with a fitted waistband, and it has like curved shoulder yokes and back yoke, collar plus billowy sleeves. Are you ready to see the perfect pattern for this? Vogue 1934 is ideal. I love it when things happen like this. It's not got the curved yoke at the back, and it has cuffs rather than elastic sleeve hems, but they could be easily swapped out if you wanted. Cuff might actually be better for denim, given that it's a bit stiffer, unless it was light and chambray. Anyway, it has side seam pockets too. Beautiful match. Another new to me brand is the Frankie Shop. Their fluffy Joni coat brings plenty of drama and polish to cold weather dressing. Made from like a plush faux fur fabric. It has a relaxed double-breasted shape with the oversized lapels and a self-tie belt. Although the thought of sewing with faux fur doesn't really fill me with excitement, this coat nearly has me convinced. A pattern that got me quite excited when I saw it released was New Look 6810. I love the no apologies kind of oversized look and long length. It has the same collar style and self-tie belt. It doesn't include button closures, which would make it a bit easier to sew. And you could maybe make it in boucle coating so it has the texture but doesn't fill your house with faux fur fluff. Or if you were lucky enough to get some of that gorgeous leopard print velvet from New Craft House, then maybe you could make a copy of the illustration that has the jaunty little matching beret. Let's look at some chic trousers next. These are from the Frankie Shop too. The Daytona pleated Grand de Poudre wide leg pants. What the heck is Grand de Poudre? My French is terrible, but essentially it's a high quality wool fabric with like a distinctive matte finish, woven from finely combed yarns, often used in tuxedos and refined evening wear. How luxurious. The Daytona trousers have like a tailored, relaxed, wide shape with double pleats at the front. They also have 2 handy side pockets plus an extra at the back. And I'm pretty happy with my pattern choice. Doesn't Simplicity 3170 look good for this style? Wide leg, fry front, gorgeous pleating. It doesn't have the belt loops, but you're also clever. You could easily add those in. And it has an offset waistband rather than one that lines up with the fly front. But I actually think that's better. It's more secure and less prone to straining as you sit down. So yeah, I like that one. A quick fun one now. If you want a chic midi skirt, my pick is the Doan Sebastian poplin skirt. It's gathered along each tier to create pretty volume, plus has pleat and pin tuck details that make it more eye-catching, and delicate crochet trim along the hem to create more visual interest. I'm a big fan of mixing pin tucks, so aka small, narrow tucks of fabric with pleats, larger folds of fabric for a cool comparison of techniques. Pleats just require extra measuring, stitching and pressing, but pin tucks need a double needle and adjustment of your machine settings and ideally a pin tucking foot, but could be easily incorporated into a project. Take a peek at Simplicity 9750. Works in cotton, so perfect for beginners, or would be a speedy sew for an experienced maker. And it has those pleated details that are so fun on the Doan skirt. Pick up some crochet trim for the hem and you've got a perfect match. Onto another cool denim dress from Zimmermann. Apparently this one draws inspiration from the 1970s film Picnic at Hanging Rock, though I'm not seeing it. Playing on utilitarian styles, it's cut from a stiffer denim with a pointed collar and epaulettes on the shoulders. There are big patch pockets. I love the statement blouson sleeves and the cool angled hem. The golden top stitching and the little matching belt are great finishing touches. My choice might surprise you. It's Nomi 2140 by Kichibi Style. It has the same exact hem with those angled seams and the pointed collar. Instead of blouson sleeves, it has lantern sleeves, so still a great shape. And instead of a hidden button placket, it has a zip. But I'm really getting the same vibe. Do you see it? One of those views also has flapped patch pockets on the skirt, and you could just move those up to the bodice, but I like the kind of corset inspired paneling at the bust. Whip up a fabric belt and I think you have a really similar look. Moving on, it's Stella McCartney. This camel coloured coat is made from soft wool in a relaxed shape for a less tailored option that still looks very polished. Midi length with the notched collar, wraps around your frame and has a self-tie belt. It's made from 100% wool. I love a wool coat. They're so timeless. You care for it well and you can wear it season after season. And it's a no-brainer to use Nomi 2001, designed by Nikki of Butte Jador for this look. The pattern was from the very first Nomi collection and it's still a bestseller. It has all those lovely simple details that just let the fabric shine, just like the McCartney piece. So the notched collar lapel, wrap front, simple self-tie belt. And there's also a video sew along to help you if this is your first coat project. Rixo have gone hard for 90s slip style dresses. There are several in their range now, with empire line bodices, V necklines and flowing midi skirts that skim the body. Made of satin, there's like a mix of trims in there, some have sleeves too, and the best option for this style of dress is really to hunt on eBay or Etsy for 90s vintage sewing patterns. New Look had so many of them in their range back in the day. But for modern patterns, I'd say Simplicity 8875 could be easily adapted. Choose View D if you don't want a centre front seam on the skirt and leave off the buttons. They're only stitched in place decoratively. And you could leave off the sleeves or use, I love those lovely bell-shaped longer sleeves. There's a little cap one too. The Gibbons dress by Elb Textiles is another good choice as it's bias cut, so it'll skim the body beautifully, and then just lengthen the skirt to achieve the same silhouette. And for both, you can play with lace trims in full colours for a true 90s lingerie inspired look. Cult Gaia makes some incredible pieces, including epic handbags, and this dress caught my eye, the Carline off the shoulder wool and cashmere blend midi dress. That off the shoulder neckline is layered, it's like a cape or a bardo collar, an oversized one. It drapes around the bodice, while the dress underneath has long sleeves and a very long column skirt. Very chic in its sort of simplicity, very luxe. And the Vicky Sews Hazel dress is a great match. I actually think it might be a bit more wearable than the original inspiration because the draped bodice isn't too long. If you've never tried a Vicky Sews pattern before, there's a real variety in the formats depending on the design you're shopping. Hazel is one of the simpler ones, so it's all in a single delivery, a single pattern paper pattern or a single PDF option. Other patterns have multiple options to choose from based on size and height. Anyway, pick up an interlock knit or a rib knit, which would have a lovely texture if you can't find a cashmere blend. 2 for 1. I couldn't help but notice a lot of these halter party style tops on the site. Here are high neck styles by Pucci and Nili Lotan that I like the best. The Pucci is very silk scarf inspired with an open back and knotted ties. The Lotan is totally sheer, made in chiffon, which makes quite a daring look. I'd definitely be cold wearing a halter in winter unless the party or night out was in a cosy space and I bundled up, arriving in a big coat. I'm proposing Simplicity 3166 and Burda 5737 as 2 great options. The Simplicity has a slight cowl at the neckline and the Burda is gathered into a neckband, both offering some visual interest to the simple silhouette, making satin, chiffon, crepe. You can really wear it all year round. And then maybe just for me, throw on a fluffy coat to stay cozy on your way to the party. Arch 4 is a new to me brand, but I love the look of the Mona cashmere wrap. It has a ribbed funnel neck and then generous side splits. I'm still convinced it's hard to tell, but I think there is an armhole there and it's not just like an open poncho silhouette. It has a half zip funnel neckline, grown on short sleeves, and they've actually layered it over the top of another jumper for extra coziness. You should use Vogue 1833 for your recreation because it's another amazing match. It was released years before the Mona came out. I love it when that happens. It has a longer kind of curved hem compared to the Inspiration jumper, but there is a short grown on sleeve and then a longer length sleeve if you don't want to layer like the Mona. Slice up the side seams and you could have the same split hem detail too. Last but not least, back to Doen. I chose the Madeleine dress because it reminded me of the Veronique dress featured in my Sew the Look Cézanne video. It's an organic checked cotton midi dress with flared skirt, button front, raglan sleeves, and that delicate little binding around the neckline that takes in all the gathering at the neckline edge. I mean, it's got good coverage for winter, but if you left a few buttons undone, it makes that subtle V neckline. The skirt appears to be panelled, which is hard to see, but you can kind of see the print smashes together on the skirt. And it really reminds me of McCall's 7925 with a few changes. You would just merge that waist midriff band onto the rest of the bodice by joining the tissue pieces together before cutting out. The skirt is flared without panels, so that would help you not have to break up the print and still get the same silhouette, and just skip the hem ruffle. There are so many amazing checked fabrics around at the minute. New Craft House had some Beyond 9 fabric. I mean, there's so many like Merchant and Mills and Mind the Maker checks that are beautiful. There's one that's like called Calm Grey and Dry Mustard. I really love that. I've had that pinned for ages to see if I could use that for a project. So that could get you inspired. So there you have it, 17 Sew the Look ideas from Net-a-Porter. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up and leave a comment about which look you like the best. I'll be back again soon with a new video, so make sure to subscribe and you won't miss out. Bye everyone!